Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. This one has interestingly moved against me and against the, kind of anchor for a bunch of the teasers that I started this week, was taking the Colts from 8 down to 2, which I thought was a gift. Now we look up, and this thing is 7 pretty much across the board now in favor of the Colts, a total of 45.5 or 46. Steven, I'm going to start with you here because you have the most interesting play maybe of the week on any of our cards, and that is you coming in and planting your flag to back this Houston team at 7.5. Again, there is a 7.5 still available out there if you wanted to play with Steven along in this one. I turn it over to you, my friend.
Well, let's mention it again. Some trends we care about a little bit, or at least make us look more into the handicap, and others we don't give a damn about. And we'll say it again. Since 2009, division home underdogs in week 1 are 19-5 against the spread. Now let's do the handicap, because I do think, and I agree with Eli Hershkovich, our lead writer, who has this as part of his best bets column on TheLines.com, that the Texans, on offense at least, have a lot of continuity coming into the year. Davis Mills showed some promise in the back half of last year after not getting an offseason in a training camp to get ready. He has that now this year. New head coach, but same offensive coordinator in Pep Hamilton. And I do think they have a promising number 2 wide receiver in second-year man Nico Collins, who has a rookie almost matched Brandon Cooks in yards per target. He just didn't get a lot of snaps as a rookie, but when he did, he was effective. So if we just look at this board conceptually overall, Matt and Adam, for week 1, the Bears' offense is only a 6.5 or 7-point home dog to the 49ers. The Jets are a 7-point dog at home to the Ravens with Joe Flacco. The Seahawks are 6.5-point home dogs to the Broncos. Is the Texans' offense better than those underdogs? I think they are better than the Bears, Jets, and Seahawks offenses. Should the Colts be rated in about the same tier as the 49ers, Ravens, and Broncos? I say yes. I don't have them significantly higher than those teams. So why were the Texans 7.5 where I bet them? I don't know. So I bet it. And I think 7 is a fair price for this game.
So, Adam, I'm gonna listen again. I'm in the tank here for Colts teaser legs, and if Colts don't cover 2 this week, it's going to be a bad week for me. Like, there's no doubt about that. It's like I'm an all or nothing, as you guys well know, because you guys know me very well. If you're watching this for the first time, I'm kind of an all or nothing guy when it comes to weeks in the NFL. I'm going to have awesome weeks or I'm going to have horrible weeks. And so this is kind of the key game here that could make this week horrible for me. I mean, look, I think the Texans are okay at best. I mean, the offensive line is going to be terrible. And when the offensive line is terrible and you have a quarterback that was graded 35th out of 37, according to Pro Football Focus last year. By the way, there's only 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and he was 35th, but that's neither here nor there. I just can't find my way to get in there. Matt Ryan is just an infinite upgrade to me for this offense that I liked last year anyway, even with Carson Wentz, and I hate Carson Wentz. And so I think this Colts team is going to be super, super strong this year. And again, it's another one of those where you don't have to really be a genius to figure this out. I mean, you've got Jonathan Taylor, you got Matt Ryan, you got Pittman. Keep it simple, move on, beat the team that you're supposed to beat, and like don't get exotic here and save any of the trick plays and all that stuff for when you actually need it. I think this could be just a nice kind of comprehensive beatdown for the Colts.
Matt, when I look at my numbers, as I mentioned earlier with Baltimore, and I see a team that I'm way higher on than the market, that makes me excited to bet that team early, right? Maybe I have a feeling for something early that someone else doesn't. On the flip side, when I'm much lower on a team than the market, I respect the market enough to say, I'm going to stay away from that one until the market tells me a little bit more and the team tells me a little bit more. More importantly, I'm lower on the Colts than a lot of people by a fair amount. I don't see a lot of daylight between Phillip Rivers a couple of years ago and Matt Ryan in terms of at the helm of this offense. Now, obviously, it's a big upgrade over Carson Wentz. I think that's fair to say, but we also have to remember this team didn't make the playoffs last year, right? So how big of an upgrade is it? Does it make them good enough to win the AFC South? Yeah, probably it does, but that's in large part by default because of the rest of this division and the fact that the Tennessee Titans literally don't have anybody to catch the ball this year. So this particular week, I'm staying away from it. And what Steven was referencing with our Slack chat earlier this week is that, yes, I love football. No, I do not love football enough to be sweating the Houston Texans plus the points at any point on a Sunday afternoon. So if I look at the numbers that I made for the beginning of the year, I think this number's just about right. And I have Houston as the worst team in the NFL. So I don't know that I can look at anything other than I don't think Indianapolis is as good as the market believes it is, but I'm willing to trust the market. And I think Houston is a team that is literally not trying to win this year. And when you have a team that's not trying to win, that is going to continue to push itself toward the top of the draft, that is a team that worries me in terms of backing them as a dog.